Conflict and tension. Early towns and settlements in the American West were lawless, with problems such as gambling, violence, gangs, alcohol, prostitution, and racial tensions. When a settlement reached the population of 5,000 or more, it became a territory and could appoint sheriffs, but they were often poorly paid and accepted bribes. Federal law enforcement was often unsuccessful, so groups of citizens established vigilance committees to hold trials and punish lawbreakers. There were also tensions between settlers and indigenous peoples of the plains. In 1834, the US government created the Indian Permanent Frontier, marking land east of the Mississippi River as Indian Territory. Indigenous people were free to live and hunt on this land, and white settlers were prohibited from living there. However, more migrants began to travel east, leading to increased tensions between the migrants and natives. In response to these conflicts, the US government moved the indigenous people onto reservations, allowing migrants to settle on their ancestral land. In 1851, the Fort Laramie Treaty was signed by the US government and tribal chiefs. The indigenous people promised to end conflict and allow migrants to travel through their land and pay compensation if the terms were violated. And the US government promised to protect the indigenous people from white settlers and pay tribes a $50,000 annuity if they kept to the treaty. However, neither side kept their deals, and the indigenous people effectively lost their freedom, ending the permanent Indian frontier. The 1851 Indian Appropriations Act forced the indigenous people onto reservations, preventing them from following their nomadic lifestyle. The government compensated them for their land, so white settlers could move onto it, and the reservations limited the area indigenous people could hunt, forcing them to farm to avoid starvation.